The next topic, map design. Personally, I think Treyarch, it gets a thumbs up in my opinion. I think there's a good range of balanced maps, everything from large like jungle to medium firing range, small Nuketown. No doubt there'll be people that argue that it's a bad thing that Treyarch didn't implement smaller maps or even just the one sort of clusterfuck of a map like that. Was it Shipment from Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare? But me personally, I think they got the variety spot on. Like I say, they got maps which sort of favour SMG players that opted to rush, such as Summit, whereas other maps like Array complemented those that opted to snipe. I'll take that sniper's role. What's your opinion on the map packs? Or the core? For now, let's just discuss the core. We can discuss the DLC content releases in a minute. So what's your opinion on the maps?
When it came out, I think I liked them all, you know what I mean?
There's not really a map that I can take a step back and think, you know what, that's shit. Whereas Modern Warfare 3...
I'm going to stop you right there, because I can. Array.
Nah, I don't... G11, man. G11 all the way.
It's badly designed. By having the centre around the largest building in the map being only in the middle, and then having many access, like, areas surrounding the map, and then small interior buildings and shit like that. You know what I mean? Nah. That's really poorly designed in my opinion. It's not the only one. I think, you know what I mean, right? Right now, go on.
There's maps which I prefer over. When I say there's not a map I think is shit, there are maps which I don't like in comparison to others. Like my favourite maps, Firing Range, WMD, Summit, things like that. But there are maps such as, let me think. I'm not a fan of Cracked. I don't think it's shit, but I'm not a fan of Cracked. What's the other one? Is it Crisis? I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's shit, if that makes sense. Whereas, for instance...
I actually like Crisis, you know, because I think it breaks down well by having the whole...
I think the only reason I hate it is B-Dom. The B-Dom position.
What in the nuke...
Gangbang area.
Or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, like computer room.
Yeah, but then again, I don't know, that's kind of like a recurring topic throughout.
Well, in saying that, probably the least map... the map out of all the selections on the core map pack that I hate, the map that I hate the most, should I say, I can't get my words out. Nuketown, I fucking hate that map, and yet everyone loves it. Everyone, you can guarantee if Nuketown's on, it'll get played twice. You know what I mean? Yeah. Every time. Nuketown 24/7 playlist or whatever they are. It's fucking shite.
People like close quarter combat action, and you know, this is kind of like, I hate to go to it again, but it's kind of like basing it upon Infinity Ward versus Treyarch.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
How Treyarch based their game, you know, based their game around calm, relaxed, larger maps, time to think, whereas in Nuketown, just completely revolutionised how the game played for Black Ops especially. And they that, you know, they put money on that and they promoted it with Nuketown 24/7 and shit like that, you see. That's what I think Treyarch fucking realised, you know, because if you think back to it, yeah, when the DLCs got released and shit like that, after that, majority were small maps, and then you got a few big map tossed in. You know what I mean?
Oh, wait a minute. You're forgetting that guy. Do you remember that guy on the DLC video? He's like, Hotel, it's the new Nuketown.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember him? What's his name?
Yeah, exactly, mate, exactly.
Oh, man, what a
exactly
fail.
the point that they're trying to...
Not Hotel,
you know, that's what,
it was driving, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I can't remember, but I think I do remember somewhere.
But find his name, what a guy.
Whatever, but yeah. But it's like the same point, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, I rate for the next, Treyarch or whatever, you're gonna see some crazy shit, you know what I mean? Small maps, crazy action. It's gonna be more fast filled, and it's either gonna be a make or break situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll either break it like what you say Infinity Ward has, or they'll make it like what I say Infinity Ward has. Yeah. It's all down to that.
I think it's finding a balance between, because both game developers, Infinity Ward, have the... Go on, sorry.
Fact is, though, like, seeing what we've seen in Black Ops, going on to the next one and shit like that, if the map design's the same from Black Ops, I'm not hopeful for the next one. You know what I mean? I think overall map design was lacking, just with whether it was like, I don't know, aesthetically to look at and shit like that, or just like, you know, I feel like snow maps are just like the easiest maps ever to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just feels like that to me, because what is it? Everything's white. You know what I mean? It's like the most basic colour ever. It's like, right, so we'll just like put everything white. You know?
I mean, it's interesting you should mention like aesthetics, because I mean, like, appearance is one of the points that a lot of YouTube commentators pick up on as a negative aspect in the Call of Duty Black Ops game, because I think it was set in the Cold War, and yet Treyarch are notorious for using grey and dull colours to. Whereas Infinity War,
then again, Modern Warfare 3 is grey and dull. It's pretty dull. Like,
I mean, that's probably why.
And shit, you know what I mean?
It seems like only was it Hazard, when I remember when they first released Hazard, everyone was like, "Oh, it's about time." Like, Treyarch have sort of listened to the community and
I think
made a colourful map.
I think it was Nuketown that they're like they were doing it.
Nuketown was colourful.
This is the standard. This is the standard of like maps that should look good and shit like that. You know what I mean? As far as I remember, like, without saying any names, big YouTube commentators.
Fuck it, say them, I'll lose shit. They're not watching anyway.
yeah.
Anyway, moving on. But yeah, what I was saying, it's like I don't want to make it seem like it's difficult, because it's fuck all, isn't it? It's not difficult at all. It's you know what I mean? But it's the Infinity Ward and Treyarch have to find a balance, because both games have their fanboys at the end of the day, and it's in their own distinct ways. They like certain things. Like Infinity Ward have, I would argue, the majority of the sniping fans come from Infinity Ward because of the quick scope and the trig shot, and yet you don't really get that with Treyarch. So it's like trying to find a balance. Usually when a Treyarch game's released, Infinity Ward, majority of the time I find it's the Infinity Ward.
But if you're gonna call it something like that, you know what I mean? It's like saying the same shit as in, alright, Infinity Ward brings all the snipers, but then what are you gonna say, like Treyarch brings all the ghosts? You know what I mean?
Well, that's something we'll discuss later on. We'll just push that to one side for now. DLC content. What were they? Were they full releases?
Yeah. For the first one was, what was it called now?
Oh, it was something
with F.
First Strike.
Yeah.
Then there was Annihilation, Escalation, Ejaculation, Masturbation.
Yeah, Retaliate.
Resurrection,
sorry.
Resurrection. I think Retaliation
what was the first? It was First Strike.
Whatever.
First Strike, Escalation, Annihilation, Resurrection. But
in terms of the DLC content, though, I must admit there are a few of these new maps which I do prefer over the core maps that are in the game. So I mean that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of, I mean the map packs. Ignoring Modern Warfare 3, because I must admit that the few I do like in the Modern Warfare 3 content, but if you compare it to Modern Warfare 2, not a lot of people liked a lot of the content that was released in the map packs. The same with COD 4, you could argue.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It all comes down to preferences. You see, that's the thing, yeah. Maps is just a tricky topic to discuss within COD, because all people have got their own preferences, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, for some people, they might absolutely love a raid. I know. I want to find a developer who made that map and take a big shit on his head. That's about it, right? For him, he might like whoever the person.
He might like it.
No, the person who likes a raid might start fucking kissing his ass and sucking his.
It's all about what that map does to it's like the player stylistically. I mean, like you're a Russian in Black Ops in particular. Your sort of background is of a Russian style of play.
Yeah.
And I imagine maps such as Array, piss you off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like
I said, it's some proportion, yeah, because you want to rush. You got to rush on that game. You've got to rush with an assault rifle. There's no fact about it unless you're going to stay in the middle building. You know what I mean? I rush more with a G11 on that map than like any other SMG. You know what I mean? And maybe it wouldn't even be considered rushing because the map's so fucking big. It's just like me moving to like half of the map and then I pick up like 4 kills and then I got to move back to the other half of the map, pick up 4 kills and shit like that. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You can't. Maps is tricky. Maps are tricky because you know what I mean.
I just think in general, like overall, there's a good range, and the majority of which would probably, I'd say there's probably medium size.
I think there's larger maps, more larger maps than there are small maps.
I can only really think of jungle, convoy, jungle.
No, car, not DLC. Speaking of car, right?
Well then, jungle and array.
Launch, jungle.
Launch isn't that big.
Yeah, it is. Compared to radiation.
Yeah, but it's centralised. The action's centralised on the actual sort of.
What would you consider radiation?
Medium. But see,
well, then if you say that's medium,
this could be a discussion in itself. This because the thing with radiation, there's a lot of areas. It plays large because there's a lot of areas which break.
No, radiation's medium, but then you saying that has got.
No, but it plays large in the sense.
It's got to mean that launch is large. Then, mate, you got to see that.
The launch is large and open. Radiation is medium and enclosed. Nuketown is small and open.
Mate.
Firing range is open and medium.
Mate, radiation is tiny compared to launch.
I know, but it plays as if it's bigger than it is because it's enclosed. There's buildings, there's under the map, there's all sorts. You know what I mean? It's just that stylistically it plays a bit.
I don't know, mate. Well, whatever. But then, what about cracks then?
I'd say that's quite large, actually.
You know what I mean? And if you're saying that's large, radiation is large, mate. And so's launch.
Anyway, we spent like 10 minutes on map design for fuck's sake.
I told you, mate, that's why it's the trickiest one to do. I'm telling you.
It is, I know it is.
You can't, no comment.
Right. Next sort of thing we could talk about quite briefly. Audio quality. And for this, I mean, on the release day, the sound quality was very poor. People have always said it was poor.
What do you mean audio quality?
In-game. Both in-game and
in-game. Talking just like, what, people that have recorded the stuff and that shit?
No, when you're playing in-game, like sound horribility, if that makes sense. Because, I mean, when the game was released, the sound was shocking. And they actually, for credit to Treyarch, they patched it.
Boosted everything, didn't it?
Yeah. And in terms of, like, I'm not one of these that... I try and abuse sound whoring, but... I don't know, I think unless they had a really shit hot headset.
If you sound hard, you're a bitch. Full stop.
I guess, I know there's a lot of people that, especially the main people that I find complaining about that, the fact that you can't sound hard in this game and others like World at War so much. Infinity Ward, COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 players who relied on that exploit. Because it's an exploitative thing in a game. It's not something, for me...
It's like an advantage, isn't it? It's a leg up.
Yeah. It's not something which is sort of you can. What's the best way of phrasing this? It's not something which you can't do yourself because you just go out and buy a new really shit hot headset.
I don't even need it, mate. I just sound off through my TV. That's good enough for me. I'm not even lying, mate. I'm a beast.
The game lobby chat quality, I think, is the best of any Call of Duty since. And in fact, Modern Warfare 3 has taken a step back and it's gone back to the shit that was in Modern Warfare 2. And it is, it's like exiting game chat, Catering. It's just an annoying buzz, innit? Whereas Black Ops, it was fine, it was great.
I don't know, man. I don't know, you're just speaking about non-beneficial things. I don't give a shit, you know what I mean? If I can speak through the game, I can speak through the game. If I can speak through Xbox Live Pi, that's good enough for me. I'd fucking prefer it if they took all audio in-game out and they just let people do it through Xbox. Because I think seriously something like that like sucks bandwidth for something.